the Quran.
Right.
It is in a lot of verses. It is said, "Takhruj bayda min ghayri su'in," like
Right.
yadmum yadaka.
Yeah, he sticks his arm inside, and then it
yakhruju
came out white.
bayda
Right.
min ghayri su',
Right.
without any defects.
Without any
He
defects.
said,
Right.
like God said it, like in several places.
Verbatim. You know what's crazy about that?
And
Now,
in the hadith, he is described as black.
Black. You know what's crazy about Musa? It seems like he's the most
And
mentioned
you're
prophet.
And
It seems like he's the most mentioned prophet in the Quran.
More than
Like
anybody.
you read about him more than anybody
maybe
else.
4 or 5 times more than the prophet.
Yeah.
The prophet was mentioned what, like 4 times?
Yeah, 4 times maybe.
I'm saying like 4. I'm saying probably 80 times.
Yeah. Musa is like in a lot of
120,
chapters.
130 times maybe.
Right.
More
Right.
than anybody else.
Right. And then another thing too is when you look at the spiritual masters, when you look at the descriptions of, like, for example, Abdul Qadir Jilani, they describe him as dark skinned.
Yeah.
You know, when you look
Like
at Abdul,
swarthy.
like when you look at Abdul Hassan al-Shadili, they say he was dark skinned. You know what I mean? And so there's, maybe like ethnically they wouldn't be like considered black because of where they are, but phenotypically,
If they were in the U.S. in the 60s,
yeah, they would be black.
They would sit in the back of the bus.
Yeah, they would sit in the back of the
even
bus.
all these pharaohs.
Mm-hmm.
White people can stand today and say, "Oh no, they were white. They
Right.
Like, there were a couple black people and
Right.
no." But if they lived in the 60s, they would sit in the back without doubt.
Right.
Not only that, now another thing they do, like throw in to try to like confuse us, is they try to throw in the pyramids in Sudan.
Right.
And tell us, oh no, these guys weren't black. You guys have pyramids. They're just not in Egypt. They're in Sudan.
Right.
Because if France and Germany were fighting,
Right.
they meant that the Germans are not white,
Right.
or the French are not white.
Right. You know what's crazy? It's just that whole area was just like one thing. Like, like
There
for
are
example,
more pyramids in Sudan than in
Right.
Egypt. It's just the pyramids in Egypt are bigger.
They're bigger.
But Sudan is the origin of those people.
Exactly.
It started over there.
right.
Started
That's
small.
what people don't
They
realize.
went over there and then they flourished and then developed and
Right.
it became this huge thing.
And then when you look at Sudan, like pretty much Nubia goes down to Sudan. Like that's the thing. Like when you're talking to Sudanese, like a lot of those Sudanese are Nubian descendant.
They
You know
are.
what I
Like,
mean?
even
Like
in southern Egypt,
yeah,
the Nubians are still, fighting for like a
Right.
position, some kind
Right.
of recognition
Right.
in the Egyptian like
right.
government.
Egyptian government, right? Yeah. Even one of the great masters, his name was Dul-Nun al-Misri.
Zulun al-Misri, yeah.
Yeah, he was a Nubian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dul-Nun
like
al-Misri.
yeah, he was a Nubian too. Like so,
The last president, the guy who was killed,
yeah. Anwar
Gamal
Sadat.
Abdel Nasser.
Oh, Nasser. He was
Like
Nubian
the
too.
guy who was killed,
Oh, Sadat.
Sadat.
Yeah,
Gamal
Sadat.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was black.
Yeah, he was like Sudanese, huh?
Sadat was black.
Yeah, Sadat.
Black, like it's not like, oh no, he was black. Like very clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, I kind of noticed that with the Islam, even for example, I'm not gonna dare call the Prophet, I'm not gonna dare call Nelato alayhi salatu salam black, but I will say
His
that
ancestors are.
like
Not his ancestor, his ancestor.
yeah, the
Hajar.
thing Hajar, right? Hajar alayhi
I was
salam.
Coptic Christian.
She was from Egypt,
there,
right?
From there, yeah.
Yeah, from
a
Egypt,
thousand
right?
Some years, they were
Right.
black.
Because here's the thing, like, compared, like, those people back then, like, all his companions, like, most of them, you read the descriptions, some of them are described as Adam, some are described as Shadid al-Udma, some are described as, like,
Swarthy,
skin, like,
or
booty.
they'll say, like, curly hair.
Curly hair.
Dark hair.
Yeah, so, compared to them, he was probably light. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that he was this like that Jesus looking portrait guy.
No,
Some people get that impression that okay,
come on, Jesus was from Palestine. Even
That too.
even now,
right.
you look at them. They could like have all the Arab hair and
Right,
stuff
right,
like
right,
that.
right.
But clearly, they're not white.
Right.
Very regular. He had
Right.
like,
Right. I think
Jesus in this picture have nothing to do with Jesus.
Right.
In reality,
I think what makes the Arab today kind of feel that way sometimes is because here they call, like, you know, when you fill out that census, they have them listed as part of the white race, and I think that's what makes them feel like, oh, okay, like I can get a pass, but you know. Like clearly it's like, hey, you know, we can definitely tell the difference. You know what I mean? Like you're nowhere near that. You know what I mean?
Not only that, like it even makes it seem like everybody trying to aspire to be white. Like it's like something you try to reach for.
Right.
It's like
like the
apex,
like the apex.
You know
what I mean? And I tell people, like, the reason why the Arabs look the way they are today is because, like, because you have to understand.
Mixture was black.
Huh?
There's a mixture of black. That's why
right.
The way they are. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, when the Arabs left like Saudi Arabia, like, most of the time the women didn't really go with them when they went on conquest. So what did they do? They marry local women.
Black women.
Yeah, they marry local women. Like, so, you know, Syria.
Look at the royal families.
Yeah.
Like Morocco, the royal families.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because, look.
Even in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
You look at the royal family.
Right.
Every now and then you see a prince, you're like, oh, there's a sister right there.
Yeah.
You could tell, you know.
And it's not only that. It's like, for example, when you go to, like, Lebanon, when you go to Syria, when you go to Jordan, these weren't originally like Arab places. They were Roman. Yeah. And so that's why
Syrian.
They look, yeah.
You know, in history you have the term local Syrian.
Yeah.
Local Syrian means white Syrians.
Right.
In history, it's a term people use.
Right.
Now, when you have white Syrians, it makes it seem like there's some black Syrians.
Right.
But these are a long time ago.
These are ancient Syrians.
Yeah. You know, they say local Syrian. Like Syrians are called local Syrians, like white Syrians.
Right.
Which means that they were black Syrians then.
Okay.
You know, it's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched.
Because there are countries, even nowadays, like in modern time, that existed, say 50 years ago, that don't exist anymore.
Right.
You know, population shift.
Right.
You know, wars, like things happen, and then
even I'll dare to say that even like in our religion, like there's certain madahibs that don't exist anymore. Like the four that we have now.
Probably more than 10.
Madahibs. Yeah.
More than 10.
And even like, for example, people don't know this, but someone told me, Imam Malik, rahmatullah alayhi, that he had a book on like astronomy. You know, so it wasn't just like he was just like a legal scholar. It was like he was a scholar of the highest. Like, I think he had a book on Arabic grammar. I think he had many books that we don't know about. You know what I mean? It's just that they disappeared over the amount of time.
Because Malik is old. He's like the oldest among them.
Yeah.
He's like the first.
Yeah.
He's the one who taught this one taught the other one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think there was a wisdom behind him being there from Medina, because he got the knowledge of the Sahaba, like, and like the people who talked to the Sahaba.
It's like he didn't need
a hadith
for certain things.
because he had the actual
you
proof.
Live in Kent, like you're here.
Yeah.
In Kent.
Yeah.
You know how the Kent people do what they do.
Right.
You don't need somebody to tell you. You see it.
Yeah. And it's not just regular
Azan.
people.
You don't need somebody to tell you, oh, the Prophet used to do it. You hear it.
No, exactly.
You see it, you know?
Exactly. So that's what makes it kind of like, that's why it's good, because, and then another thing that I like that he does is he takes consideration to the customs and the culture of people. But he does it if it's not harmful to society. Now, what's going on out here is pretty harmful to society, so he would try to put an end to it. You know what I mean? But like, for example, like, let's just say if we went to Brazil or something, we couldn't say no, you can't do carnival, because that's their custom. You know, that's their thing. You know what I mean? And you're coming from a place that maybe it didn't exist, but hey, this is.
You could try to Islamize it.
Yeah, you can try to. Yeah, you can try to. Yeah. You can try to like. Yeah, you can try to like filter it. You know what I mean?
Like the Shaman Bamba, he said in one of his sayings.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, stop where good stops.
That makes perfect sense.
Like whatever you're doing, where good stops,
right?
You stop right there.
Right.
If you're playing soccer,
right?
Soccer is not haram.
No.
But if good stops somewhere, like good is okay, it's good, and suddenly it's not good anymore. You stop.
Right.
For example, you're playing soccer and it's time to pray. If you don't stop and pray, then you're getting into.
Then it becomes haram.
Pray.
Yeah. Then it becomes haram.
Or you're playing soccer, and you gotta wear something that reveals your aura. You cover it.
Well, even with the, like, for example, even in Maliki Madhab, even in Maliki Madhab, like there's two hours. There's like the greater hour, and then there's the lower hour. So, like for example, like let's just say I'm working out or I'm running or something. Maybe my shorts may come up to my knees, you know, but I'm still wearing a shirt and stuff like that. The most it would be disliked, probably. You know what I mean? At most. But you have certain people who just like enforce it so much. But again, we have to, number one, look at like, okay, what's going to be more comfortable for you to run in? That's number one. And number two, we have to look at where we are. You know what I mean? Now, if we were in a Muslim country, maybe it would be different. You know what I mean? But at the same day, like, we're not in, like, Muslim country. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think even Imam Malik, too, I think he had a black mom. I think.
I know that his dad was some kind of, like, ironsmith.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But black mothers are spread out over there.
Yeah, I think.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
like,
I think
his.
I think.
Sahabi you hear about? Their mom.
Yeah, they're. I think. Imam Mom.
So they appear like the African Americans of now.
Yeah.
Like more so, like half caste.
Yeah. Yeah, because He was mixed.
No, he wasn't mixed. He was Arab.
Okay.
But his wives were all black.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
So he had all black.
He
He had all black wives.
He had two wives.
Okay.
Well, if I remember right, he had two wives.
Okay.
Both of them, who were actually slaves.
Okay.
He bought their freedom.
Okay.
And then married them.
Okay.
Like they were black women.
They were black women.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
His descendants are all because I mean, it's like you're half caste, then you marry another another white Arab.
Right. Yeah.
It disappears.
I didn't even know that about Ahmed Tijani.
His first wife was Arab because he married like at a very, very early age. But he had to like get rid of that wife. They divorced.
Okay.
Then he married again, but those women who he married were like slaves whose freedom
he bought their freedom. Oh, I didn't even know. Because I didn't know that about Ahmed Tijani. That he made. So were the wives from Morocco or?
They were from Morocco.
Oh, they were Morocco.
Morocco has a sizable black community until now.
Yeah. Well, actually, the forming of Marrakesh was a black man.
Exactly.
A black man formed Marrakesh. Yeah.
In
Wow.
Old Spain. Like the old Spain, like Tarif, the general.
Yeah.
And the Moors.
Well, yeah, the Moors, yeah.
Because Moors don't mean black. It don't mean Arab. It means black.
Yeah, it means black. Yeah, the Spanish word means black.
Yeah, it means black.
When you say it in Spanish,
and
it
there was
means
a whole Moor army.
Yeah.
It's just like the Arabs, like during the Arab conquest when they went all the way to the Pyrenees in France.
Right.
Well, those people never left, really.
Oh, they didn't leave.
Oh no, they never left. That's why you look at the French. Look at French people.
The south of France, right?
I mean, look at the French people. I mean,
South of France, I noticed that.
You know.
I noticed the South of France has that kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
I noticed the South of France has that thing going on. Now, even in Spain, I noticed that like when you like okay in the north maybe more dramatic.
Yeah.
But when you go to like the south, you see
it's
that
a very clear.
Yeah, clear distinction like
You
that.
tell if these people, if you did any type of DNA test,
You can tell that would
just
be
a few
in them.
generations back. Oh yeah, they'll be. I mean, just like here, they could be like somebody from the KKK, you know, blue eye, fair skin, and everything.
Right.
You do your DNA test and find out that one of your ancestors is black.
Right.
It's very like easy in the U.S.
Right.
Very easy.
Right.
Very easy.
Right.
You could be like old, black, dark, and everything. Do your DNA test and find a white man in there.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Definitely.
I think this theory done by this